taking the F word out of birth. People often start our course expecting to be hypnotised, but what they don't realise is we've already been hypnotised to believe that birth is supposed to be this painful and traumatic event. It's now time to de-hypnotise ourselves. Women in many cultures have been conditioned from an early age to associate birth with pain. And by the time we're pregnant ourselves, we're holding so much fear regarding the pain and possible complications that we come to expect it because we've been conditioned by so many people around us to expect it. It's a funny thing about life that what we expect, we tend to get. Women have been giving birth for hundreds of thousands of years, and if birth really were that precarious, the human race would have died off years ago. And yet, all around us, people talk about the horrors and trauma of labour and birth. So, why has birth become such a negative experience for so many women in our society? Have you ever seen an animal birth? They just take themselves off to a quiet place where they're not likely to be disturbed, and they birth. No doctors, no painkillers, no injections, no one telling them how to birth their offspring. They just do it instinctively. Now, we are a species of animal. So what is it that we're doing so differently? It seems to be the wealthier and the more educated we become as a human race, the more difficulties we seem to experience in childbirth. So what is the missing link? Something that has struck me throughout my years of teaching childbirth education is that a great proportion of childbearing women, particularly first-time mothers, are scared. We're holding fear. We're scared of the unknown. We're fearful of our health and the well-being of our baby. We're scared about the horror stories that other women and the media have told us about birth. We're also fearful of losing our dignity during the birth. We can be scared of medical assistance and hospitalisation. Sometimes it's the first time we've ever even been to a hospital, the time we go to hospital to birth our baby. So we can often feel completely out of our league and, in many cases, out of control. So what can we do to combat the fear? We need to reprogram our subconscious. We need to build our knowledge about birth and the possible interventions and create and maintain a positive mindset. We also need to ensure that we have good support on hand. And that's what our course, our programs are all about. Remember, it took time for the fears to build up in your subconscious, so it can take time and persistence to remove them. But when you do, it is liberating. And you know that you're giving your baby the gift of a positive birth experience. I'm Melissa Spilstead, and this is your Pregnant Pause.